The Vandy Boys are 2025 SEC Baseball Tournament champions, and we are here breaking down, recapping, and reacting to what took place in the Vandy Boys' 3-2 win over Ole Miss. Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Phillips of SEC Unfiltered. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. As always, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Check us out via podcast, where we get your podcast. You can also find us across all social media platforms as well as our website, secunfiltered.com. And as always, we're powered by our friends over at FANDUEL. Visit FANDUEL.com/SECU to join today and get started with $250 in bonus bets when you win your first $5 bet. Once again, that's FANDUEL.com/SECU to get $250 in bonus bets today. The Vandy Boys take down Ole Miss by a final score of 3-2 in the SEC Baseball Tournament Championship game to claim the 2025 SEC Tournament title. We are here recapping, reacting, breaking down everything that went down here on this Sunday in Hoover, Alabama. Guys, as always, I am Chris Phillips. No Harrison Fant today, as he is out and about busy. Of course, it is Memorial Day weekend. Our guy Harrison living his best life. So, again, you got me for the next, we'll say, 15, 20 minutes. We'll talk about this game, obviously, and also just put a pin in the week that was in Hoover and maybe even talk some postseason projections and what this means, today's result, and the run that both Vandy and Ole Miss went on, what it means for both of these teams. Guys, you look at this game, I mean, it really played out, I think, the way that a lot of us thought it would from the standpoint, low-scoring ball game, a lot of great pitching, a lot of great defense. Both of these staffs had spun the baseball really, really well to this point. They had gotten enough out of the hitting. And I know for Vanderbilt, obviously, you know, they were showing the stats all in the broadcast. You look at their last few weeks. You look at the reason Vanderbilt closed out SEC play strong and some of the reasons that they had won throughout this tournament. Obviously, the offense had come alive, right? But Vanderbilt's bread and butter, bottom line, it is the pitching, it is the defense. And again, they can spin it as well as anybody, and they play as good a defense as anybody in college baseball. Guys, as you look at the box score, obviously Vandy jumps out to that big 2-0 lead. Brody Johnson, who, you know, for a lineup that doesn't have a ton of pop, doesn't have a ton of power, I should say, Brody Johnson has been that guy that when they've needed a big swing in the bat, when they've needed a home run, they needed a big power swing, Brody Johnson, that guy. And again, guys, he goes 2 for 4 in the ball game. And by the way, Vandy was 7 hits. So it was a productive day swinging the sticks against, again, a pitching staff that had been as hot as any. He was really productive today, 2 for 4, 2 RBI, had the big homer. I mean, guys, that was the difference in this ball game, right? For the most part, Ole Miss and Vandy, they trade blows in the 5th inning. Ole Miss scoring 1, Vandy bounces back. I thought that was a big moment in the game. Obviously, Ole Miss unable to get that shutdown inning. I mean, guys, Vanderbilt, here's the difference. Vanderbilt did something that nobody else was able to do on Ole Miss. They scored on their bullpen, right? Hooks gives up 2 earned, but that difference is Raby comes in, 1 earned run for him in 2 innings pitched. That was the difference in this baseball game, if you really think about it. Obviously, Ole Miss, things got a little bit squirrely there for the Vandy Boys in the 9th inning. You know, the dramatics, if you will, that took place, but obviously able to hold on. I want to say this, too, because I mentioned this yesterday, but now especially since the Doors have won the title, I need to go on record and say this. This is my formal apology to Vanderbilt head coach Tim Corbin, because I came to Nashville about 2 months ago or so for the Vanderbilt-Arkansas series, and I watched the Vandy Boys get swept. And after that weekend, my takeaway was, hey, Tim Corbin, great coach. He's a legend of the game. But for Vanderbilt to compete with the elites, they're probably going to have to go some different offensive direction, whether that's a change of philosophy with Tim Corbin or at some point moving on, because trying to win games 2-1, 3-2, 4-3, you know, depending on pitching, depending on defense, and not being able to swing the stick at a high enough rate, you're not going to be able to win at an elite level. I was wrong. I was wrong. Tim Corbin knows what he's doing. It goes without saying. Vanderbilt now is SEC tournament champions. More importantly, guys, they may be the #1 overall national seed. I apologize, Tim Corbin. I'm a complete idiot. That was a terrible take. That was a swing and miss by me. And I'm happy to see Tim Corbin prove me wrong, truly, because, again, you look at this stretch for Vandy over the last few weeks. You look at them, even in Hoover, guys. I mean, they're getting those big swings of the bat they simply did not get earlier in the season. I mean, again, you look at Vanderbilt's path here, guys, and what they did. Obviously a top 4 seed. We talked about, guys, why it's set up well. Myself and Harrison both had Vandy in the title game, right? We had them in the championship. Vandy obviously beats Oklahoma 6-1. They then run rule Tennessee 10-0 and beat Ole Miss by a final score of 3-2. So anyways, I was dead wrong. For Ole Miss, it was a great run. Listen, Ole Miss had a great run in Hoover, beating Florida 3-1. Then you beat Arkansas 5-2. Then you beat LSU 2-0. They had a great run in Hoover. Ole Miss absolutely went from, and I believe they said the RPI entering, was it 18? They are now sitting right outside the top 10, I believe, in RPI now. So a team that went from on the bubble of being a host to, I think, 110%. They are going to be a regional host, which, by the way, tonight is when we're going to get those, the top 16, including the top 8 national seeds. I expect to hear the Oxford Regional called. There's no question in my mind. They did enough. They deserve it. They are deserving of being a regional host, and they will get that. There's no debate in my mind at this point. But again, guys, this game specifically, I mean, we'll spend some time on it. Most of the conversation obviously shifts to what we're going to get tonight, what we're going to get tomorrow. Really well-played game. I mean, this was 2 red-hot teams. I wasn't really going to be surprised one way or the other who came out on top in this game. I think you look at both starters. Hooks was good. 4 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned for Ole Miss. Raby wasn't bad, but gets at the 1 earned. Calhoun comes in, 2 innings pitched, no earned for him. Ole Miss's staff with 5 strikeouts on the day. And then you look at Vanderbilt, guys. You look at Vanderbilt, and this was the, you ran out there the Austin Nye experiment a few weeks ago, and I saw a lot of Vandy people that, were not happy with the results, and he got roughed up a little bit. Absolutely fantastic in his redemption outing, or his next go around, if you will. Nye, 4 2/3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. I think that really, guys, when you think about it, that's what's really was so impressive about both these teams' runs, and especially Vandy, to still have the pitching depth on Sunday, to have guys that are able to come in and do a job for you like they did. I mean, that's the biggest thing. In a tournament like this, especially and Vandy was in a great spot, right? Obviously, because they didn't play until Friday. It was a normal 3-game series, 3-game weekend for them, or they played Thursday night, excuse me. But either way, it was a 3-game weekend for them, like a normal weekend series. They were at a huge advantage. It's why I said going in, I felt like a top 4 seed was going to win this tournament, because you're just at such an advantage when you don't start till Thursday or Friday and you're going a normal 3-game set. But Nye comes in. He was fantastic. And then the bullpen, guys, I mean, you had it was a combined 2 2/3, 3 and 4 1/3. Yeah, 4 1/3 innings pitched. You give up just the 1 earned run in the top of the 9th inning. Sawyer Hawks giving up that home run, that solo shot. But obviously it does not come back to bite you. And I tell you, guys, Vanderbilt is a complete team. Ole Miss is a complete team as well. A lot of good teams, obviously, in this tournament. But the conversation to me now shifts to, and Kyle Peterson, our good friend, mentioned it on the broadcast. Should the Vandy boys be the number 1 overall national seed? Like, I think it is. I think it is worth a conversation. The latest projections from D1Baseball.com, and these obviously are changing throughout the day, I would imagine, because you got conference tournament championship games going on, which it is interesting. Like, how much do you factor in the conference tournament as a whole? How much do you factor in the conference tournament title Sunday? Like, it really just depends. The latest projections, they had Texas as the 1 seed, Arkansas as the 2. And that was coming into today. So did Vandy winning the conference title do enough for them to jump both? I don't know that it did. I think Vandy probably ends up as the 2 seed. Arkansas slide into the 3, which would be fascinating, guys, because if their projections play out, Tennessee, they have as the 15 seed. That is who would face off against the 2. Would they pit Vandy and Tennessee against each other again? I don't know. Here's the other funny thing, though. Right now, they've got Vandy as the 3 seed. Southern Miss, the Hattiesburg Regional, is the 14 seed. Guess who they've got in that regional? The Ole Miss Rebels. So could we see Vandy Ole Miss again? Either way, does it really matter if you're the number 1 overall national seed? I mean, sure, it's an advantage. I think it's more of a flex of like, hey, we're the number 1 overall national seed. As long as you're a top 8, that's really all that matters, in my opinion. But if you're asking me if Vandy is deserving, if you're asking me if Vandy has earned it, I would say yeah. I mean, I think they earned it, but also Texas won the regular season conference title, right? Like they were the best team in the conference for 10 straight weekends. So it's one of those things where, again, if you want to give it to Vandy, fair, right? But you're telling me we got to stop this whole narrative of the conference tournament doesn't mean anything. Because it obviously would mean something. Like if Vandy takes the number 1 spot, the conference tournament obviously means something. It obviously means something. And I know many of you think that as well. And guys, we're going to get into, by the way, your questions, your comments at the end of the show because I see you all commenting and I appreciate each and every single one of you. Again, I'm fine either way. I understand the reasoning of Texas. And I would probably tell you this, guys. I'm kind of going back. I feel like I'm going back on what I just said. If it were up to me, let me give you a firm opinion on this. If it were up to me, I would still have Texas as the 1 seed. The conference tournament matters to me, but I don't know that it should matter to a point to where Vandy should be able to jump Texas for number 1, the number 1 overall national seed, right? Like the conference tournament's important. It's not, in my opinion, more important than those 10 weekends in the regular season and that entire body of work, right? So again, we're splitting hairs a little bit. Vandy's going to be a top 3 seed. Maybe they move up to the 2 line. Maybe they take number 1, but I still just think, again, it's awesome to go on a run in Hoover. It is. It's great. It means something. I don't know that it should mean more than what Texas did for 10 straight weekends. It's just my opinion. You want to hate me for it, fine. But again, Vandy boys, going to be a top 3 national seed. Now, if you want to argue they should move to the 2, I think they should move to the 2. I think moving up a spot is very fair. But jumping all the way to 1, that feels a little bit aggressive for me. That feels a little bit aggressive. So on that note, guys, before we get to your questions and your comments and everything, in closing a little bit from my perspective, as we close out the week in Hoover, Alabama, and we put a pin in the SEC baseball tournament, I do want to talk a little bit about the format and just this year's event. Obviously, we were there Monday through Friday. Had an absolute blast. I can't say thank you enough to everyone who showed us love, all the great fan bases, the players, the coaches. It was truly an event unlike anything else I've been to. It really did remind me of sort of a mini Omaha, if you will. It had that mini Omaha kind of vibe. With that being said, because we're at a place in college sports where everybody just loves to tinker with shit and mess around with everything. And, well, how can we change this? What can we do to that? I mean, look at college football. It's a complete cluster. You know what? It's a complete mess. So everybody loves to do that. So what did we learn from this year? And what should be the adjustments moving forward? First thing is this. We don't need all 16 teams in the field. I'm sorry, guys. Like if you're winning 3 conference games or 6 conference games, I think the thought process was good, and hey, let's have everybody there. It's great. Like this is the SEC tournament, not the 14 of 16 tournament. Let's have everybody there. I think the thought process was good. I think the intentions were good. But guys, what did we gain out of watching Missouri and South Carolina play? I mean, no disrespect to them. What did we gain out of that? Did they even want to be there? Because they knew their seasons were over. Both of them knew they weren't making a run of any kind. Like, miss me with that. We don't need all 16 there. Respectfully, like if you don't win more than 6 games in conference play, you shouldn't be in Hoover. Just bottom line, you don't deserve to go, right? You don't deserve to go. So that's the first thing. The second thing, I'm not a fan of the single elimination, guys. I mean, listen, here's the thing. The week was fun either way, but who it kills the week for is the fans. You're making the product worse for the fans when you go to a purely single elimination format. Had many fans this past week, voicing to us about, when it's only single elimination. I mean, guys, why would anybody from Austin come to Hoover? Norman, Lexington, Kentucky, Gainesville, Florida. Like, why would anybody who has a significant drive or they got to catch a flight, why would you catch a flight for potentially one game? It makes no sense, especially when people are out there de-emphasizing what the tournament means. So I think going back to the double elim, and I don't know if the SEC cares enough to do that, but the double elim to me, at least it gave people a reason to stick around, right? Like, for example, guys, Missouri brought no one. South Carolina brought no one. Those are different reasons. Oklahoma brought nobody. Kentucky brought nobody. This goes back to the whole let's shrink the field. Like, guys, the first 4 games were snoozers. I mean, the Oklahoma-Kentucky game, I could have taken a nap inside the Hoover Met. It was so quiet in there. Like, it was boring. Straight up boring. So I'd shrink the field. I'd go back to double elim. I would essentially go back to the old format. I would. I'd go back to the old format. Heck, I'd be down, guys, to go back to the old format and give me just the top 12 teams. If that's what it really comes down to, I'd rather go back to double elimination and give me just the top 12 teams. Because, again, it's still like, dude, like, I mean, if you're barely winning double-digit games in conference play, how deserving are you really to go anyways? I mean, I'm thinking about who wouldn't have been there, right? Kentucky. So if we just had the top 12 teams, Mizzou wouldn't have been there, South Carolina wouldn't have been there, A&M wouldn't have been there, and Kentucky wouldn't have been there. And I know some people will balk at it, like give these teams a chance to make a run. Guys, did A&M really deserve to play in Hoover? Yeah, come on. Did they really deserve to go? I mean, Kentucky, what would have changed for them? They lost. I'm sure Kentucky would have rather not gone than lost a game. So it just, I don't know. I think the intentions are pure by letting everybody participate. But at the same time, if you want to increase the quality of the baseball, I don't need to see some of these teams play, man. I just like, especially if you want to keep it at 14, like the bottom 2, I got no interest. I got no interest in watching you play any more baseball. Like, you did enough during the season. It was painful enough to watch you during the season. It was painful enough. I don't need to see any more in Hoover. Anyways, so that's the 2 things I would do. Shrink the field, go back to double elim. And outside of that, everything's good. I mean, it was a great week. Don't get me wrong. It was a great week, guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Am I being the old man yelling at clouds, or do I have a valid argument here of what changes, what adjustments the SEC baseball tournament should make going into next year? Because I will be totally honest with you once again. I had a blast. It was a lot of fun. The RV lot was incredible. That's probably where I'll spend most, if not all, of my time next year. But I will say this. A lot of people told me before I went, man, it's better than Omaha. Dude, it's better than Omaha, man. Like, it's Omaha 2.0. Guys, my first Omaha experience was last year, and my first SEC baseball tournament experience was this year. And I'm here to tell you, it's not even close. It's just not even remotely close. Maybe it was before, but what I experienced with this format, it's not even close. So I do think the new format, I do think the single elim, I think it took a toll on what the event could be. I mean, heck, there were even local business owners, guys, voicing to us about, yeah, we're slower than normal because fans aren't coming in because it's single elimination and, whatever. Even if they're local, we're not getting as big of crowds. So shrink the field, go back to double elim. For the love of God, shrink the field. I think that's the most obvious one. So Anyways, Vanderbilt, your 2025 SEC baseball tournament champions. They take down Ole Miss, final score of 3-2. Ole Miss going to be a host. Is Vandy the number 1 overall national seed? We'll see what the committee decides tonight, 7:30 Central, when we will get all of the regional host sites. Let's go through some of your questions, comments. Appreciate you guys all tuning in, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Nearly 1,000 of you tuned in live. I can't say thank you enough, guys. Our guys over Chinook, Jacksonville State catchers a dog. Yeah, my guy Chinook is at the, what is it, Conference USA tournament? Yeah, Conference USA. Good on you, Chinook. Daily Joy. Last time Vandy won the SEC and LSU was a 5 seed was 2023. We all know what happened after that. There's that voodoo. There's that LSU voodoo coming into play. Chinook says, takes a fastball to his face last night, talking about the Jack State catcher. Takes a fastball to his face last night, right eye basically swollen shut, stays in the game, first at bat today. Fastball to the back of the head, stays in. Jesus. Kudos to that guy. Chinook said, I know it's SECU, but I'd be remiss if I didn't mention something I personally witnessed. All good. We're lovers of college baseball, no matter who it is. Ryan says, Vandy absolutely dominated Tennessee this year. They are a sleeper tournament team. Their hitting is very strong, but their bullpen is scary good. Ryan, is Vandy a sleeper at this point? I mean, like I said, we're talking about them being potentially the number 1 overall national seed. If you're sleeping on Vandy, that's your problem. It's your fault. I mean, this is not me saying they're going to win it all or anything, but if you're sleeping on Vandy, it's a little crazy. A little crazy at this point. Michael, allowing 3 runs all tournament is nuts. Yeah, I mean, that's actually a really good point. Yeah, Vandy plays 3 games, allows 3 runs. I mean, it's a pretty good recipe. It's a pretty good recipe for success, no doubt. B-Mob, Arkansas swept Vandy and about run ruled them. Yeah, again, B-Mob, I was at those games. Yeah, that's, I mean, look, you know, you're right. You're right. And it was at Hawkins. That's the other thing. It was at Hawkins. So is the SEC tournament title enough to like move Vandy ahead of Arkansas or God forbid Texas? We'll see. It'd be very interesting. Clay Phillips, anchor down, #haters. Clay, congratulations. VPC, Vandy played well in the tournament that they needed to more than Arkansas and Texas. I mean, you're not totally wrong. I mean, Vandy was a top 8, though. I don't think Vandy needed to – they didn't need to win it. I think they just wanted to win it. Ryan says, as a Vandy fan, Texas is still the number 1 seed. Arkansas broke Vandy down, but you got to take the tourney into account. Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting balance. Like, what do you care more about? What do you weigh more, regular season, tournament? I still think, again, the regular season's got to matter more. I do. I think it's got to matter more. That's why, like, I mean, you know, if you're like a Mizzou, South Carolina, if you were A&M, like if you won the whole tournament, I guess it makes sense. You deserve it. You made a crazy run. Congratulations. At the same time, it's like, dude, you were not good for 10 weeks. Like, are you really deserving? Chinook with a great point. Either conference tournaments matter to everyone or doesn't matter to everyone. Can't have it for some and not others. Yeah. I mean, Chinook, I'm a big conference tournaments matter kind of guy. If they don't matter, just get rid of them. Like, but they do. Like, I think winning it is a really big deal. Tell RJ Austin, who won the MVP, that trophy doesn't matter. Tell that entire team that trophy doesn't matter. It does. It's cool to win it. It's not everything. It's not bigger than the Natty Trophy, but it matters. You can't just say it doesn't matter. Ryan says, Corbin's got a good one brewing. It's absolutely disgusting how dominating Vandy was against top teams in the tournament. Texas looked really flawed against Tennessee. But, Ryan, this is where we go back to. I mean, Texas has some issues. Don't get me wrong. They make me nervous. You know, at the same time, I'm not going to look at them in the SEC tournament and go, oh, my goodness, they're just terrible. They do have some issues. You're right, though. Lineup is very sketch. They don't have Jared Spencer, obviously. Their path to win it all is much, much narrower than some others. Jason E. Jones, how about this? As a Tennessee fan, golf clap. Vandy, I don't like Nashville. I don't like Vandy or their fans. And Jay Cutler's a prick. Jason Jones coming in hot, giving some credit to the Vandy boys. Daily Joy says nobody is sleeping on Vandy. I mean, I would agree. Hey, listen, I mean, I moved to Nashville and Vandy gets a top 8 national seed and wins the SEC tournament. Coincidence? I mean, do you believe in coincidence such as that? I don't think so. So, the Vandy boys putting on. Jason says, I also went to MTSU. I definitely don't like Vandy. I don't know why. Our rivalries are number 1 Bama, then Florida. I just really don't like the West Side and Vanderbilt. Good to know. Chinook says, best non-baseball thing you saw in Hoover. Chinook, I think you're setting me up because I think you know what my answer is going to be. The best non-baseball thing that I saw in Hoover was the RV lot and specifically Dat Bingle bus. I mean, and let me throw them in there too. Let me throw the Mississippi State folks in there too. The Mississippi State tailgate, they were awesome. I don't want to make it seem like the only people we interacted with was, Dat Bingle bus, LSU. But, I mean, it's the RV lot. It's essentially the LSU lot. That's really what it is. It really is the LSU lot. So the RV lot as a whole was the best thing. I'd argue it's the best thing about that tournament. I will be spending more time out there next year. That's the only regret I have. I should have spent more time in the RV lot. So, but yeah, I mean, again, the other thing, non-baseball thing, just all the great fans we interacted with. I mean, it's just the great people you meet. It's that the people are what make the tournament. Bottom line, why do we get so fired up when LSU plays, when Arkansas plays, when some of these others? The investment's different. The care level is different, So the people are what really make it special. All the great people we met in Hoover. That was the best thing about the week, baseball or non-baseball, in my opinion. So, Daily Joy, the vodka freeze machine, hands down. Yeah, that was probably the best non-baseball thing. The vodka freeze machine was fantastic. Yeah, no doubt. Dat Bingle bus. Shout out to them. Dewey, I'm going to go ahead and say it as a Vols fan. Vandy will win it all. Wow. I know that had to hurt to type, my friend. So good on you. Good on you. I know that had to hurt. Let's take one more comment here. Let's see. All right, we'll take one more comment. Maybe two more. Jason said, I disagree because watching Texas A&M make a run in the heart of Jace Lavalette, that was good stuff right there. Yes, I know I misspelled Lavalette. I'm doing voice text. Fair enough. I get what you're saying, Jason. I get it. Listen, okay, we don't have to go to 12, but let's at least go to 14. I don't need to see the 15th and the 16th team play. I don't need to see them play. And Laura coming in hot. I absolutely agree the single elimination sucks and agree the best of the team should be there. The single elim, again, it just kills it for the fans because it's very hard to – I mean, those LSU folks, LSU took over because they go there for the week. They could be playing Tuesday. They could be playing Friday. They don't give a damn. They go straight to Hoover. They're always going to have good attendance. Everybody else, just not great. Chinook, 10 conference wins. I would agree with you, actually. I think if you don't win double-digit conference games, if you can't go 10-20 or better, I could argue you shouldn't be in the SEC tournament. And what is it? I mean, it's typically 2 every year. I would say 2 every year that don't win 10 games. So I think that's fair. Final one here. Reese Fullerton, Vandy, number 1 overall seed. We'll find out tonight. I think they've got a case, but I'd keep Texas in the 1 line. I would. I just think what they did in the regular season should matter, and it should matter significantly. So I'll give the Horns the nod there. Guys, we're going to go and wrap it up. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. Over 800 of you tuned in live. Can't say thank you enough. Those of you on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, wherever you're at. If you're listening via, podcast, thank you so much for the continued love and support, guys. Before we get out of here, I want to tell you about our friends over at FanDuel because, as always, we are brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. The wait is over. Baseball season's finally here, and you can start the season strong on FanDuel. America's #1 sportsbook, because right now FanDuel is celebrating the return of baseball by giving new customers $250 in bonus bets. If your first $5 bet wins, FanDuel's got so many ways for you to get on the action, from hits to steals to home runs. They've got a lineup filled with all your favorite bets, or if pitching is more of your thing, FanDuel has a deep bullpen of bets from strikeouts to shutout innings. So when you place your first bet, it can be on almost anything, and if it hits, you'll get $250 in bonus bets. Just visit FanDuel.com/SECU to join today. That's FanDuel.com/SECU. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official partners of Major League Baseball. Must be 21 and up, and present in select states for Kansas in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 and up and present in D.C. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, or visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777, or visit ccpg.org/chat. In Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org. In Maryland, Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org, or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-8778-HOPE-NY, or text HOPE-NY in New York. Guys, once again, the Vandy boys are 2025 SEC baseball tournament champions, and now we await tonight the announcement of the 16 regional host sites, including the top 8 national seeds. Guys, the next time you can catch us, we will not go live tonight. We will be posting on social media, so make sure you're following along. But tomorrow, obviously, we'll be covering the selection show. We'll be posting as it goes, right, what the bracket is, where everybody's going, all that good stuff. Immediately following, or as soon as possible following that show, as soon as the selections, as soon as the bracket is out, we are going to go live, react to it all, myself and Harrison Fant, just an immediate reaction, giving you guys our thoughts, breakdowns on some of the matchups. We won't dive too deep, because on Thursday, we will go live yet again, kind of our normal wind-up slot, and we'll preview and predict every single regional. Again, lock in our predictions. Going to be really fun stuff, guys. Also, stay tuned throughout the week. We'll be getting guests on, people that cover these teams specifically, to get you these really in-depth conversations and breakdowns of the regionals. Going to be a lot of fun. Y'all know how we roll. Content bleeding out of the eyeballs. So again, guys, thank you all so much. Make sure, as always, you like, subscribe, turn on notifications, check us out via podcast, wherever you get your podcast. You can also find us across all social media platforms, as well as our website, secunfiltered.com. Till next time, I'm Chris Phillips of SEC Unfiltered. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in, and we will catch you all on the other side.